Hi, this is Steve Clifford. I'm on the spot today with IDC's Dave Schubmel. Dave, wanted to get your take. We're currently seeing a proliferation of announcements with what's going on with Google Now, Siri, and Cortana from a consumer perspective. When do you really see these particular types of virtual assistants taking the next step or really gaining more traction within the enterprise?
Well, Steve, thanks. I think what we're seeing in the beginning of the marketplace is that we started out with these virtual assistants for consumers, as you mentioned. Apple Siri has been around for about 5 years or so now. Really bad to begin with, but now it's becoming pretty useful. We're starting to see people like Microsoft, for example. The next version of Windows is going to have Cortana built into it. The next version of SharePoint is going to be using something called Microsoft Delve, which is essentially their machine learning and artificial intelligence. And basically, what we're seeing is that these type of virtual assistant technologies are starting to kind of come out of the woodwork and move into the enterprise. And in addition to that, we're starting to see companies developing these, as virtual assistant technologies. And we're also seeing people like, so for example, IBM's Watson Partners develop these for specific disciplines. So for example, for the medical discipline, for example, we're seeing virtual assistants being generated for that. We're also seeing some in the healthcare area. So I think this is an area that's just beginning to be ripe for disruption. And we expect that over the next 2 to 3 years, almost everybody is going to have some level of virtual assistant capability associated with their office software or their enterprise software or things along that line.
Dave, where you mentioned companies like Microsoft starting to embed this type of functionality, do you see this being as a nice to do or a must-have in the future?
Yeah, I really do see it as a must-have. I think it's going to, every piece of enterprise software is going to have some machine learning or artificially intelligent capabilities because that's what people are going to be looking for. If you can actually develop, do your job 50% faster by having a smart application help you, why would you go with a dumb application? So I think of it kind of as, if you don't stay up with it, dumb software is essentially going to be the equivalent of the buggy whip.
Dave, I think back in the early 2000s, we saw a big wave of knowledge management, which sort of petered out as it progressed. Is the virtual assistant and cognitive computing platform a new arena for this type of skill set?
Yes, I think it is. I mean, I think one of the reasons that knowledge management kind of petered out was that humans were expected to store the content, humans were expected to organize the content, humans were expected to relate information across. And what we're seeing is the use of these machine learning and artificial intelligence techniques, working with this unstructured information to basically pull this data together to build a knowledge base upon which these artificial intelligence systems can work. So in some sense, you can think of it as kind of the revenge of the librarian or the revenge of the information architect, where they actually are the subject matter experts helping to build that content out of these enterprises. And in a lot of these enterprises, this information is hidden away in email systems or in content management systems or in ERP systems, and it has to be surfaced, understood, and organized. And we're using automated technology to do that, but somebody's got to help curate that and pull it together and help organize it in some fashion. So we're starting to see a resurgence of these the knowledge management or information architecture professionals to help build these cognitive systems, if you will.
Well, Dave, I thank you very much for your time today, and look forward to staying up to date with you on this topic as it continues to evolve over the upcoming year.
Great, thank you very much. Appreciate it.